Some power-ups are a reward. The ones on this list feel more like a door opening that really should have stayed shut. I went looking for the moments anime stopped pretending the rules mattered. The flex is so absurd they rewind the whole show around them. Some cosmic, some terrifying, every one of them is worth the rewind. These are the most insane God mode moments in anime. Marriage Toxin builds a whole world of assassin bloodlines who've spent centuries perfecting their craft, and then introduces a guy who just wants to open a cafe with his girlfriend. Oh, isn't that sweet? Although Peachy has no clan, no trading, no speciality. He's a one-off genetic fluke who hunts hitmen on the side so his neighborhood stays safe for customers. The catch is that in this setting, ordinary means slicing through buildings with a kitchen knife and swinging a billboard like a baseball bat. Gero doses himself with toxins to sharpen his own reflexes and still can't lay a finger on him. Peachy outspeeds a trained poison master, then naps off the damage like a long shift. I love that the scariest fighter here is the one with the least reason to fight. For a whole season, Wang Ling is the flattest character on screen, barely a flicker of expression, and that's the Seal's doing because the talisman muzzling his world-ending power muzzles his emotions too. Then, a Shadow Faction assassin cuts down Sun Rong, the one person he'd quietly started to love, right in front of him. The Seal shatters. Every feeling he was never allowed to have floods all the way back, and the most powerful being in the story comes apart at the seams. He can't steer what happens next. Grief-blind and throttled to a fraction of his strength, he starts tearing reality open trying to undo her death. The calmest boy alive, undone by a single loss, and the universe nearly went with her. The cord rips, the engine coughs, and the chainsaw bursts out of his skull, and from there, Denji stops being a person and becomes a problem. The Reze arc film cranked this transformation into something feral and gorgeous, all sputtering motor and arterial spray choreographed like a dance. There's no nobility in it. Denji isn't ascending to save anyone, he's a starving, betrayed kid running on instinct and gasoline. That's exactly why it lands so hard for me. Most power-ups feel like a reward, this one feels like a wound that learned how to fight back. By the time the smoke clears, you're not cheering so much as catching your breath. Magnificent and a little sad. My wife and Goku have something in common. They both love trying new hair colors. Both of them look different, however. Only one blew my mind. Don't tell her I said that though, okay? Anyway, Ultra Instinct wasn't that. When his eyes went silver and his body began slipping every blow before his brain caught up, Dragon Ball quietly redefined what its ceiling even was. Jiren throws everything, and Goku's just, well, not there anymore, drifting through the assault like the fight is happening to somebody else. The genius is that it isn't anger this time, it's stillness. A lifetime of screaming power-ups, and the strongest he's ever looked is the calmest. That episode aired and the fandom lost its collective mind, mine very much included. It earned every decibel. I went into Blades of the Guardians expecting slick swordplay, and one scene left me rattled for days. Dalmar spends this stretch as a weary, grounded bounty hunter in the dying Sui dynasty. No powers, no glow, just a blade and a stubborn code. Then He Yuxuan kills Lao Mo, the old chief he owed everything to, and something in Dalmar quietly switches off. All of you die. And what comes next isn't a duel, it's a grief swinging a sword, and the clan leader's sons dropping one after another in a cold, methodical fury. No glowing aura could ever match how human that rage feels. It still sits heavy with me. Black Clover runs on one lovely contradiction. The loudest kid in the room is the only one with zero magic. Asta swings borrowed swords full of pure anti-magic while everyone around him bends the world to their will. Against Ladros, who keeps stacking raw output higher and higher until the air itself feels heavy, that contradiction gets pushed to breaking point. The black form takes over, the devil's power bleeds into his arms, and every ton of borrowed magic means nothing the instant his blade touches it. I've got a soft spot for power that cancels rather than overwhelms. Everyone else is shouting louder. Asta just walks up and pulls the plug. There's a purity in that I respect. You've seen this multiple times here, and it deserves the spot every single time. Tens and thousands of shinobi, the combined armies of 5 nations, standing in a field braced and ready. Who's the enemy? One resurrected old man strolling out to meet all of them like he's popping out for milk. Madara solo against the Alliance is the moment Naruto stopped pretending anyone else on that battlefield mattered. Meteors fall from a clear sky. A Susanoo big enough to cast its own weather. Whole battalions reduced to scenery. Now, every time I watch this scene, I'm amazed at this face. Mildly bored, faintly let down, swatting an entire war effort away like it interrupted his nap. Villains rarely get to feel this unbeatable. For a stretch there, the show let me believe hope was off the menu. There's a specific flavour of dread I only feel when a villain stops holding back, and Sukuna unfurling his domain in Shibuya is the purest dose of it I know. Most cursed users need a sealed barrier to stay safe. Sukuna just opens Malevolent Shrine into the open air, no walls, no ceiling, and turns a whole district into a kill radius. Nothing inside can refuse. The slashes don't aim, they simply arrive. Watching the cityscape get carved into ribbons in seconds, I remember feeling genuinely ill on the King of Curses' behalf. It's a natural disaster that happens to have a face and an opinion. Mappa animated cruelty itself. Okay, hear me out. Luffy's Gear 5 belongs on this list, obviously. Cartoon physics, freedom incarnate, the literal sun god waking up, and I love it. Thing is though, strip away the awakening, and that's just a fruit flexing for him. Zoro's King of Hell, that's just a guy. After learning to wield Emma's monstrous haki against Kaido, he turns it on King the Wildfire, hair graying, demonic aura roaring to life, and unleashes the King of Hell to cut down Kaido's strongest all-star. No awakening, no plot fruit, no Nika. Just decades of swinging swords until reality itself flinched. I love that the King of Hell isn't a transformation he was handed, it's one he earned, blade by blade, loss by loss. Gear 5 is a god switching on. Zoro's god mode is a mortal refusing to lose, and somehow that terrifies me more than any rubber deity ever could.
勝者ゾロ
Every Naruto power-up before this one made him stronger. Barrier mode makes him stronger and then quietly hands over the bill. The mechanic is brutal in its simplicity. Fuse his chakra with Kurama's like atoms in a reactor, gaining speed and reaction even Ishiki can't track, while the fusion eats away at them the whole time it burns. Kurama tells Naruto the cost is both of their lives, so he fights like a man already gone. The real twist lands afterwards though. The fox lied. Barrier mode drains Kurama completely and takes only him, leaving Naruto alive and abruptly without the partner he's carried since birth. The strongest he's ever been, and it cost him the one bond that shaped him. That reveal floored me.
来いよ、大筒木。本気の覚悟ってば見せてやる。
死ね。神の怒りに焼き貫かれて。メギド！
The cheerful nation builder turns into something else entirely the day his people are slaughtered. Rimuru spends most of his story as a genuinely kind administrator, so watching grief throw that switch is what makes the awakening land. To rise to the true Demon Lord, he harvests thousands of souls in one offering, and the color drains from the screen alongside him, warmth cooling into something absolute. When he resurrects his fallen citizens afterwards, you realize the whole ascension was love wearing the face of wrath. I expected a routine isekai upgrade and got a heavy meditation on what a gentle person becomes once you take everything from them. The kindest character in the cast, briefly the most frightening. That contrast stayed with me.
天才か？どれだけ俺を不快にさせれば気が済むんだ。
どうだ。
Japan and Korea's elite hunters are being torn apart on Jeju Island, Ant King wading through their S ranks like tall grass, and then a shadow peels off the wall and the whole tone of the show resets. Jinwoo's arrival is the payoff for everything we watched him survive to get here. The world's weakest, clawing his way to the top of the food chain. He faces the monster that just slaughtered a nation's finest, wearing the calm of someone who already knows how this ends. A1 Pictures shot it like a music video with a body count, and the internet rebuilt itself around the clip overnight. I felt that Arrival lands somewhere in my chest, and the long climb paid off in a single step out of the dark. This is the one that genuinely disturbed me, and I think it's meant to. Gon spends Hunter x Hunter as a bright, stubborn kid, so his ultimate power-up should feel like a triumph. Instead, it's the most upsetting image in the series. Cornered by grief over Kite, Gon bargains away his entire future, every scrap of potential he'll ever have as an adult, for the strength to crush Pito, now cost be damned. The towering man who steps forward isn't a hero arriving, he's a child setting himself on fire for warmth. Pito never had a chance, and that's the tragedy, not the win. I didn't cheer for this one. I sat there hollow, watching a boy spend his whole life on one act of revenge. Not every god mode needs a fist. Lelouch's superpower is a single command no one can refuse, and the truly chilling thing is how mundane he makes it look. One level glance, a few calm words, and an entire armed unit will lay siege, retreat, or turn their weapons on themselves without a flicker of doubt. He's not the strongest man in any room, he's just always 3 moves ahead of everyone who is. Watching him fold a fortress or unmake an army with nothing but a sentence is a different species of power fantasy. The bookish kid weaponizing everyone else's certainty. It made me feel clever purely by association, which is the best trick a show can pull. For most of 2 seasons, Will Surford is defined by a single cruelty. He's a swordsman in a world where magic is the only thing that counts, locked out of the one language everyone around him speaks fluently. Then Terminalia collapses into a massacre. His roommate Rusty dies shielding him, and the grief cracks something open. A stranger drops blood onto Will's blade, and it lifts a limiter he never knew he carried. His hair bleaches white, and the boy who could never cast finally pulls magic into his sword. What gets me is that this never felt like a reward. It's a gentle kid turning loss into the only weapon he has left.
僕は守りたい。黒き絶望の星に希望を胸に続いと剣山。
Fire Force spends its whole run with a title sitting in plain sight as a spoiler, and I love that it took me until the finale to clock the joke. Shinra is the pillar of rage, a kid powered by anger, so the genius of the ending is that anger isn't what saves the world. After humanity is wiped out and reduced to one woman's despair, Shinra fuses his soul with his brother Sho and their mother through soul resonance, and the 3 of them become a single godlike being, hope wearing a body. What lands to me isn't the reality warping or the universe rebuilding, it's that the most powerful thing in the show turned out to be a family refusing to give up on each other.
面白いかどうかが全てだよ。
And that's my list. I've left a few obvious monsters off, so tell me which moment broke your brain that I skipped. Like, sub, and I'll see you in the next one.